You could start the diffusion over here. You could start the diffusion over uh, here at the most, because you see the minimum distance between metal and diffusion is 2 lambda. So you can actually start the diffusion here and bend from here. Okay, this is possible. So I think we will do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and give 1 lambda here, and then the bend comes. Of course, you have to give the thickness of 2 lambda. So measure 1, 2, 2 squares, and the thickness is 2 lambda. This distance, as we said, is 2 lambda. And from here, once again, this thickness has to be 2 lambda. So as you bend it at the top, this thickness should be maintained at 2 lambda. Okay. The same thing has to be repeated here, 1 lambda to the left and bent, then 2 lambda thickness for the diffusion, 2 lambda thickness for the diffusion in the horizontal direction and in the vertical direction, and there you go. So this is our picture for N diffusion, going straight down and the bends. Okay. Now let's keep going here. I am not sure how much I have to go down. Okay, keep going vertically down. I'm not sure how long I have to go, but I can decide right now by looking at the polysilicon. Okay, the polysilicon is going to be coming somewhere over here. Let's keep in mind that when you draw the polysilicon, this polysilicon is going to come in parallel with, see, if you draw the polysilicon over here, this is going to come in parallel with the diffusion over here. What is the minimum distance between diffusion and polysilicon? That is again 2 lambda. Okay, so let us give it a 2 lambda distance, and of course, since I've already drawn it at 2 lambda, I can continue over here. Okay, this is the correct line for polysilicon. Okay, that would make my transistor perfectly aligned and at correct distance or minimum distance from the diffusion layer. Okay, the thickness of the polysilicon is how much? 2 lambda. So let me keep going like this. It has to extend 2 lambda out. Okay, so it extends 2 lambda out, right? So that is also satisfied once again. So let's go ahead and give the correct shading for the N diffusion. Closely spaced, right? Closely spaced green shades, okay? Green slanting lines. Remember the polysilicon over diffusion. So I have to shade the diffusion first. Trust me, when I look, when when observing or just looking at the layout, it is obvious which one was drawn first, the diffusion or the layout. So when I said polysilicon over diffusion, you have to follow it that way because it makes a difference, of course. Okay, polysilicon has to go over diffusion. Okay, and that's why I just finished the diffusion here. The next in line is to finish the polysilicon. Let's do that. Okay, the polysilicon, right, let me draw it, polysilicon over diffusion as we must. The shading is in the opposite direction like we said earlier. Keep going. It has to go till 2 lambda. This is 2 lambda, like we already know for a transistor. It has to be 2 lambda. That's right. Again, over the right side, you have the other input or the other transistor, that also 2 lambda extending out of the channel, polysilicon over diffusion. Okay, so far so good. Polysilicon over diffusion, and once again, please make sure that your lines are neat. Okay, I'm having a hard time drawing good lines. Right. Okay. Diffusion, polysilicon, the lines have to be slanting in the opposite direction as compared to N diffusion, P diffusion. Okay. I have left the left side open here and the right side open here, as is obvious from the stick diagram. Remember, we are all doing all this with reference to the stick diagram. Okay. So the left and right sides have been left open for the purpose of shorting with the PMOS gates. Let's keep going. How much should I extend over here? The transistor should extend by 2 lambda here and 2 lambda here. So after 2 lambda, I think the N diffusion can take this bend. Okay, so let's do that. N diffusion, 1, 2, 2 lambda, bend. Okay, perfect. Once again, it has to have 2 lambda thickness, so keep going 2 more lambda down and then do the bend for the outer side. Okay, outer side of the N diffusion thickness or width. Let me complete that. Come with me. Right. So we are done with the end diffusion part. That is the shorting of the source and drain. Okay. Now let's keep going. What is up next here? Like I said, this neck need not be drawn. This is just for in the case of stick diagram, we have drawn it to show clarity that the source to source and drain to drain are shorted. So this clarity is not really required in the layout because this is the actual layout or the actual fabrication file. Okay, so I'm going to avoid that neck if possible. Let me see if it is possible. How do I decide whether it is possible? If I avoid that neck, what do I have next in line? I have this contact. Okay, so I have to draw a contact here, right here. Okay, I have to draw a contact here. Now I'm going to avoid that neck. I'm going to draw the contact right over this diffusion. Okay, I can draw this contact. I can draw this contact over the diffusion like this. Okay, and that should be perfectly fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. When I draw the contact is going to be 4 lambda. That means 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to draw the box here. Okay, the 4 lambda by 4 lambda box. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. Let's close that box. Okay. The reason I did not allow the contact to push over the diffusion is because we have a minimum distance spacing requirement here. Look at this. It has to be 2 lambda. Remember, right? It has to be 2 lambda between polysilicon and diffusion. Okay. So that the metal contact that we are drawing is a contact between diffusion as well as metal, and therefore there is diffusion in the contact. Between diffusion and polysilicon, as I've marked here, requires 2 lambda. Therefore, I cannot push it further up. Okay, so I'll have to be satisfied with the contact looking like this. Okay, this should be fine. Overlap between the contact and the diffusion is fine, because if you look at it from the physical fabrication perspective, all metal lines will be drawn over the substrate surface. I think you can vision that, isn't it? All metal layers are actually drawn over the substrate surface, and the diffusion is actually within the substrate. So it makes sense that metal can be drawn over the diffusion, and that is fine. Okay, that does not cause a problem, right? So let us shade it with the second one, that is metal. Okay, once again we have the actual contact, which is black 2 lambda by 2 lambda square. Okay, I think when I went a little too much up. Okay, let's stop there. Okay, let's fill it with black. This is 2 lambda by 2 lambda situated right in the middle of the 4 lambda by 4 lambda square. Okay, that should do it. And next we have the metal layer. The metal layer that is actually for VSS contact. Okay, the metal layer for VSS contact, you have to draw it horizontally, and the color is blue, vertical shading. Okay, what is the width? 3 lambda. Okay, since the contact has actually extended up to this point anyway, it is perfectly fine to have the metal running the lower end, or the lower width of the metal running along this line, because it's not going to add to the area of the chip anyway. So we are pretty safe and it's fine. Okay, what is the width of the metal? It's always 3 lambda. So a 0.123, 3 squares, and I draw it here. Check, check, check. Is it fine? Is this more than 2 lambda? Yes, of course it is more than 2 lambda. So we are safe. Okay. So let us keep going. I do not know how long I have to go, but by now actually I'm going to just leave it here. Okay, open. I'm not sure how much length is required. Even a shorter length is fine. Even if a shorter length is used, that is perfectly fine, because if I don't need it, I don't need to draw it. Of course, okay, the metal line is required only till here. Okay, like I said, it overlaps the diffusion, which is also fine, because it does not, it makes sense. Okay, keep going. Metal vertical shading. Okay, I've extended it till here, and that should do for now. Finally, we have to give the input and the output, and in order to give the inputs, you have to give polysilicon. Polysilicon is used to short the A inputs and the B inputs. Okay. On the left, as you can see in the stick diagram, on the left you have the inputs A being shorted. So let me keep going. Start from the bottom. Okay. Take the bend. Make sure that the distance is at minimum of 2 lambda between the polysilicon and diffusion. Minimum of 2 lambda. Okay. Let's keep going. Go up. Okay. Ideally speaking, or strictly speaking, you can actually make a bend over here because the minimum distance between the diffusion and polysilicon is 2 lambda, and between metal and polysilicon is actually not defined at all. Therefore, you can actually keep going, and you can make a bend like this. Okay, something like this. Okay. Okay. But aesthetically speaking, it would look very, very awkward. Therefore, I'm going to go straight up. I'm going to keep going straight up. This is not going to add to the chip area. It will actually, I believe the straight line would actually save on the polysilicon material that is used. Okay. The amount of polysilicon. So once I've taken care of this minimum 2 lambda over here, all the other dimensions, see, all these are actually greater than 2 lambda, which means that it is all safe zone. Okay. So we'll keep going up. Okay, and join it with the A input. Let's do that. Okay, over here, and this is where we are going to meet. Okay, this is where we are going to meet the outer end, the outer bend, and shade it right. Shade it in the opposite direction as against P diffusion and N diffusion. Okay, you can actually project this or extend this by 2 lambda here, and even if you did not do it, that would be okay because you can directly give the input on this vertical line of polysilicon. That would also be okay. Okay, I'm just giving it an extension of 2 lambda over here. Okay, now let us do the same thing for this is input A. Let us do the same thing for input B. Okay, we apply a B at this end, and both the left end and the right hand are both of them signify the gate of the second PMOS transistor. Okay, this is the first PMOS transistor. This is the second PMOS transistor. Both the ends, that is the left end and the right end of the gate, uh, polysilicon actually shows the same terminal, that is the gate of the MOSFET. Therefore, if I apply a B input B at this end, the same B would be available at the right end. And that is the logic for actually extending, shorting it at one end and applying it at the other end. Let's keep going. Watch. Let's take the bend at the bottom with the watching the minimum distance 2 lambda and keep going up to meet the polysilicon at the top. Here also keep going, maintaining 2 lambda width and 2 lambda distance from all diffusions, which has been satisfied over here. Okay, please do a neat job with the shading. Let's look at the inputs. The input A is applied here, input B is applied at this end, the output is observed here from the metal, VDD supply is applied at the top metal railing, and VSS supply is applied at the bottom railing. Okay, now as you can see from this figure, actually this projection is not really needed. It adds to the chip length, isn't it, or the breadth. Okay, so we do not need to give that extension. Let us do the N well. The N well has to cover the PMOS transistors. Therefore, the N well is situated 3 lambda away from the diffusion. 1, 2, 3. Let us give it 3 squares. Okay. And start drawing the dashed yellow box. Okay. Again, you can bend it if you need, but it is not going to give us much of an advantage. So let us keep going. And that finishes the N well, the yellow box.